allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We could just take a moment of silent reflection to be grateful for the way the town, the most recent snowfall, and to help be grateful for those public works employees that did such an outstanding job. Thank you. All right, folks. Welcome to the Town of Bath Town Hall. Madam Recorder, we have the roll call, please.
Greg Sheen,
Here.
Susan Webster is here, Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Mary Lynn Hickey. Here. Rita Dawson. Here. Brian Kessel.
Here.
And Rick Weber.
Here. Thank you. Does everyone have an opportunity to look over the meeting, minute meetings from the 20th? Any additions, edits, changes? Councilman Weber?
Nope, it's good to me.
Oh, okay.
I sent Susan the corrections the minute she sent them to me on Saturday afternoon.
Well, I made another correction today.
I will just tell you that this is actually here under grants. It's not Truist Bank, it's the Truist West Virginia Foundation.
Oh,
Yes, separate arm from the bank.
And is the grants
Oh, right,
meeting on the
right.
10th or the 9th?
Is the Monday the 9th?
Yes.
Truist. West Virginia Truist Bank Foundation.
Yeah, Truist West Virginia Foundation.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Where does it say the wrong day?
Oh,
Next
so-
meeting is February
Oh,
10th.
here, yeah, it's actually the 9th.
Well, geez.
Jim
Rick?
Ricketts.
All right. Just
Yeah.
keeping you on your toes.
Where are you?
I don't know what Rick was doing.
Now.
Well,
Rick was shoveling snow.
I was checking public works. I didn't check all these other ones.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we can pass the minutes with
With corrections as noted.
With
Correction.
corrections. comments.
Mhm.
Thank you, Madam Recorder. All right, sure. Okay. Well, we have no persons before council this evening. Communications from the mayor. As everyone knows, the 36th Annual Wellness Festival was postponed. I don't know if there was a rescheduled date at this time.
Just said it would be, it's not.
It would be.
I haven't seen it.
And to speak to the snowstorm cleanup, we've had a lot of conversation around this. We've all had the opportunity to visit some other towns. I know that I've been in Winchester, many other places, and the town of Bath Public Works, along with the town of Bath Water Works, so good work, Mary and Water Committee. The Water Works guys were out there for 8-10-hour shifts as well. Thank you to Sharon for bringing in a commercial dump truck in order to move all that snow to the train depot lot. That was just a wonderful addition. We only needed to call out for one additional piece of equipment, so we're really cost efficient on getting
Go
that
down there
snow.
and look in the train lot, how much snow they moved off of
Oh, you bet.
522 as you go. I mean, I was down there when they started, and just yesterday, I mean, the amount of snow that they
That was a
hauled
lot.
is a lot.
The town of Bath was open for business by the weekend at the very latest. Our sidewalks were clear. More importantly, you have to clear the corner so that you can walk directly from one corner across the street to the other safely without having to loop around or anything else. So all of our all of
you
our
have to
corners were
clear
clear.
those storm drains, which I've seen.
Before the
most of
snow
them.
starts.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
Well, clear them out and after too, you
Yeah.
know, because
Okay.
otherwise that's when the flood comes.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
just great work.
And we
by
had
Public
Scott
Works.
Murphy and Rodney available if our guys needed a break, they would come in and spell them for a while. Our guys didn't take the breaks.
No, they didn't. They worked very long hours. And again, if we're doing an after action report on this thing, we know what some of our needs are. We're short of equipment. We need additional snow blowers. We need another skid steer. You know, again, you use a lot of this equipment when you need it, but when you need it, it's great to have it on hand. We did act and get things done very, very quickly, but you know, you can always do it a little better, a little faster, but it was a great job. And relative to other municipalities our size, yeah, I would.
Brenda came back from Hagerstown and said the roads here 8,000 times better than the city of Hagerstown,
And-
just trying to get where you need
And
to
the
go.
city of Winchester.
that
And
too.
Western Loudoun County, I was there yesterday.
So it was just a great job. And again,
Mhm.
in a tourist town, these events are very, very impactful financially. If you lose 1 week or 2 weeks out of 52, your sales, I mean, that is impactful for our local businesses. So be able to get back to business right away without having all your reservations canceled at the Country Inn or wherever. So great work, Rick and Mary. Good work on your committees, and we'll recognize those guys, and we'll get them the tools they need.
They did they were there at the Myers Road thing at 11 o'clock before the snow started. And I saw them in the morning, and they just kept on going. And I mean, it was so much snow that they just kept going and going and
Yep,
going.
they sure did. They started at like 3 or 4 in the
Yep,
morning.
and
I heard them.
just kept on going.
Yeah.
I mean, and nobody's happy. I mean, of course, we had complaints about they didn't plow good enough here, they didn't do it that, but our guys went back and rectified any little complaints that they had. They went today and redid the whole thing across the street from lot 12 because they're opening Thursday again, and it was just filled with snow. So they went through and did all that, and then they also did a little piece for Gloria so she could back her mail
When
truck
you
back
Thank
see,
in.
you.
when you see these guys,
Mhm.
go out to McDonald's or something, get them 4 hot chocolates.
Thank you.
Bring them back something,
Buy their
or
lunch.
whatever.
Jeez.
We'll just run a tab at the whole lot. They love coffee house.
Maybe.
Sponsored by
Sponsored by.
Herbs
Mary
Automotive.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Herbs Automotive. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea, Susan.
Yeah.
Get that in the minutes. We'll make that official.
I
At
had
this
to open
point,
my
we'll,
mouth, didn't
it's very gracious of you and Pete, by the way. So
I know.
We're
They
gracious.
probably want to be the first sponsors,
They're
Greg. I'm
lovely
thinking.
They are lovely people. We'll move on to On Track. We have a lot going on with On Track. I'll let Mary share some information. I'll have a little bit to share on that as well. Mary?
Okay, so On Track had a lovely opening kickoff reception over at Crust last Friday night. A small but very spirited group gathered for the occasion. We had a lovely meal, great fellowship, and On Track has events scheduled every month through the 4th of July. And just a reminder, On Track reserved the park for the entire day, to be followed by the concert that night. So this is going to be the best place to be on the 4th of July. And lots of great opportunities and events between now and then. I will make special mention of the famous, there's a bunch of F's in
Founding
there.
Flavors
Founding
Food
Flavors.
Festival.
Food Festival is coming up. And then this promotion of our water as well. We've just got a lot happening to really lift up all of the amazing assets that are already here that we want everyone to know about and come here and spend time and money and have a great time.
Okay,
So-
give me that first word again. Was it
Founding
Founding favor. Okay.
Flavor.
Trips me up every
Founding
time.
flavor.
Founding
Gotcha.
Fathers-
All that alliteration, you think I
Founding
remember.
Flavors Food Truck
Yeah.
Festival in May.
I'll
Right.
ask you if I forget.
Of course.
So, yeah, go ahead, Greg,
Yeah,
because
so
you have some things
we
you
have,
want
we
to
have a
say.
couple other things we talk about On Track and the benchmarks that we need to hit. So the
Mhm.
town of Bath, Berkeley Springs Waterworks is the sponsor of the 36th Annual International Water Tasting Competition. So we'll have provenance at that event. They are looking for volunteers to spend time with the local judges and to do some other things. So if you have some time, council, I'd recommend or would certainly join the First Lady and I down at the Country Inn on that Saturday. Again, to help with this meeting, there's a dinner with the judges and a few other events, so we can put our best foot forward in force.
Mhm.
So that's great news for us to be taking the lead with the Water Tasting Festival. There's also On Track Valentine's Day package. We've received a wellness package from the Renaissance Spa that we'll be giving away as part of our Valentine's Day promotion here in the town of Bath, and that was put together by Brianna. She's doing a great job with On Track. And also, as Mary alluded to, in regard to the summer concert series, the town of Bath will be the presenting sponsor for the concert on the 4th of July this year. There was no concert scheduled, but thanks to our contribution, there will be one on the 4th of July, and we'll continue that sponsorship throughout the entire summer. So there's some really, really good things happening. Well, thank you, Brianna, for putting that together. We actually, if anyone's interested, we do have a copy of our ad for the water. If anyone wants to take a look at that, have that available for you to see. Parks and Rec, we don't have anyone here from Parks and Rec. Planning Commission.
So I returned yesterday or last night, or early this morning, whichever it is. My bag should be here within the next 8 hours. And we will have a planning meeting next Wednesday at 5 o'clock.
All right.
Thank you.
Rail Trail, do we have an update from the
You hear these things in
We
there.
do have an update. We had a meeting last week, Susan and I, along with members from the county commission. Rebecca McLeod was also there, and Pete, just to discuss some of the upcoming work that is beginning to be moved forward on.
Yes, well, and the mediation has to be done next, of course, before we can move forward with anything else. However, with the mediation, what we want to do is plan the buildings and the utilities that are needed there, because it's would be an advantage to have that done. You don't want to remediate and then dig it up again to lay a water line or a sewer line. So those are the big questions to me
They are.
to come up next. But the remediation seems to be moving along with the state of West Virginia, the DOH. But decisions to be made as to where we don't have to have the exact design, but where are we going to
What
lay
is-
electric?
What is the size and scale of the building we'll be able to put down there? And for what purpose is that? For entertainment, for the farmer's market, hosting other events. So we want to have something that's substantial enough to do that. We may need to stack an additional grant. We may need to fund that from the town 1% municipal sales tax, but we don't know any of that until
Those decisions are made.
And those drawings, are coming in. But for everyone to understand, that process is definitely moving forward.
Mhm.
We will have the final selection for the engineering company next, should be in a week or so.
You're on that.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
next,
I'm on that.
yeah, next week.
They'll let you know.
Yeah, they'll let me
It's
know,
soon.
so we can be part of that process. But that's all good news.
Mhm.
And the other piece that we have that Pete's working on, with the town is, we talked about this several times, Independence Street West in front of Inspired Chaos. So we're at the point now that we'll bring to the next council meeting for dollars to do the 30% engineering rendering for the street. And that's an expense of about $6,500. So we can see what the engineering looks like, and then we can take that to 9 to try to get some financing.
Mhm.
Even if that's a 50-50 match grant would be ideal for that street.
Mhm.
Okay.
That covers rail trail and streetscapes, also train depot.
Depot, we're still working around with the heating in there and like that, and insulation. One of the things that have come up lately too is the back door tends to just open by itself. It's not real tight. So we're going to send one of our staff down to have a look at that and see what they can do. But otherwise, they seem to be doing business in there. They seem to be, hanging in there. But they're some of these just things that have to be done. Heating, it's boring, and insulation. These things are boring, but they have to be done. So
We're fortunate to have such a good tenant. That's the ideal tenant for that space, to have someone long-term. And again, we're working. It's not as if we're avoiding doing what we need to do. It's just that some of this work, when you have a building that's old, it requires a certain level of expertise to get it right. We are bringing in some folks to take a look at that and
That's
correct
right.
it. Perfect, thank you. Landmark Commission, don't have anyone from Landmark here today. Madam Clerk, do we have anything?
Just to let you know that the hotel motel applications for the funds are out there for FY27. They need to be approved by the end of February, or submitted by the end of February, so that they can be approved on the budget, which has to be in place by March 31st.
Do you know if we have that application form on our website?
It's on the website. You can pick it up here. We have them on Facebook. They're all out there ready
You
for
do have it on
everybody.
Facebook, and so everyone can just go right to the website and download their applications. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Sandy's doing a great job with the website. Madam Recorder?
okay, well, nothing for clerks and recorders, but I can move on to finance if
Please,
you're ready.
we are ready.
What we have now is an internal budget revision request from our clerk. And these are things that have come about because we have new employees, they have new needs like uniforms, health insurance, and things like this. And an internal budget revision means that the money is just shifting from line items within departments. It's not, we're not taking money from one department or the other. The amount is $11,000 totally that's being shifted around within. It's, we're not increasing the total budget or decreasing it. It is just within that budget. It is $11,000. It's maintenance and repairs, supplies, uniforms, health insurance, things like that. Totally, easy stuff for us. And the Finance Committee did vote to approve these changes in the budget. The other thing, Mayor, we have on here is the C&B lease purchasing agreement. Is this something that we need to?
We
should.
We
vote
should,
on?
because we have to reflect it in the minutes of this meeting.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
and
Okay.
Councilman
Yeah.
Weber.
I'll just jump right in here and
Okay,
take care of
you
that
don't
one right
mind.
now. I don't mind at all. Okay, this is going to be in the form of a motion. We are in the purchase of finalizing the financing of the new garbage truck through C&B Bank, which had the best rate of anything. It's a 5-year lease purchase agreement, 5.49%, $1,914 a month for 5 years. The amount that we're taking out in this lease purchase is $100,000. And I'm making a motion that we go ahead and approve this so that we can go ahead and finalize the purchase of the new garbage truck. But what, you don't like the wording of garbage truck? What is
Not
it?
when it looks like that.
Sanitation vehicle.
Yeah, the sanitation.
Vehicle.
Yeah,
Right.
I would just make sure you add that.
And the last thing we need to is take the minutes from this meeting stating that the mayor and the town recorder is authorized parties to sign the agreement. And then this will have to show up in the meetings in that wording, and then we'll bring that to the back. Yeah,
I'll second your motion, Rick.
okay.
I have a motion on the floor to approve,
Okay,
I'll
thank
share
you.
that, to approve the purchase of the new trash vehicle. Finances lease, it's a lease purchase loan through CMB Bank. It's a 5-year lease purchase, 5.49% interest, $1,914 per month. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Don't you dare.
Motion carries. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Councilman Weber. You've got a new truck to take care of.
All right, give me that.
There you are.
I need that.
Joy.
Okay, well, we've taken care of those items.
By the way, just one other point, that truck is available for sponsorship for $100,000. So-
111,400, we can cover the interest.
Right, thank you.
Blazing.
If anybody, don't rush in, Susan.
All right,
Herb's
all right.
oil.
Yeah, we could. Oh, my, wouldn't that be something? Okay, yeah.
Madam, Please
I'll
please
bring it up.
continue, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. We do have a few bills this evening. And let me see, okay. I make a motion that we pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $15,471.28.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $15,471.28. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $26,014.87.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $26,014.87. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the North Berkeley Rail Trail bills in the amount of $47.80. That's gonna be the least. I make that
Second.
motion, yeah.
I have a motion on the floor to pay the NBRT bills in the amount of $47.80. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the hotel motel distribution in the amount of $332.11.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the hotel motel distribution bills in the amount of $332.11. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, now we have a bill that we talked about in the Finance Committee, and it did pass in the Finance Committee, and this has to do with the Morgan Arts Council and helping them out with their concert series in the park. They've lost some funding, and we understand and very much appreciate the effort they put in and the cost of it, and we want these concerts to be very successful, and we want to be help with the sponsoring of these concerts. So what was passed in Finance Committee was $5,000 for the Morgan Arts Council for the express purpose of supporting and sponsoring the concerts in the park on Saturday evening through the summer and through the Berkeley Springs State Park. They will now have 8 concerts, I
I believe
believe.
it's 7.
7 concerts, okay. But our help with this financial help will get them over the top with it. They're having a little bit of a time. So I make a motion that we pass the Morgan Arts Council contribution from the town of Bath for the concerts in the park in the amount of $5,000.
Second.
Second, I have a motion on the floor to approve the expenditure of $5,000 for the Morgan Arts Council Summer Concert Series. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Susan.
That's it.
Beautiful. Okay. Tree board, Nate, you have anything for us?
Yes. And I sent copies of this to people who need it. At the last tree board meeting, Colton Aaron of the Bartlett Tree Experts delivered the updated tree inventory and management plan. This project was funded by the Demonstration City grant that's awarded by the West Virginia Division of Urban Forestry. A previous plan, also using DCG monies, was submitted to the tree board in 2023. The board requested this assessment as part of an effort to locate and protect our heritage trees. Heritage trees can be defined as trees with impressive size and age, which symbolize the passage of time and the natural history of the place. These trees also play a vital role in the environment in terms of stormwater management and purifying the air, as well as providing habitat for wildlife. All 3 cemeteries were surveyed in 2023, but the heritage trees were not identified as such in that comp management plan. The wooded lot south of the new section of Greenwood has not been surveyed at all in the past. A total of 597 trees were evaluated. 41 of these qualify as heritage trees. The total dollar value of the trees surveyed is $995,000 and $995,015. So almost $1 million.
Where'd the 15 come in?
Well, it's because I don't know how to read that number out loud. So, I mean, if you look at it, you'll see and you'll know how to say it.
15.
Okay, the 2025 comprehensive plan provides input on what, if any, the heritage trees need to survive and thrive. And this might be soil fertilization, bracing to keep the branch or the crown of the tree from falling apart. There are a number of things they mention. This is useful information to the tree board in planning its work and applying for grant funds. In addition, the plan identifies trees over 6 inches diameter at breast height that need to be removed to protect persons and property. So that's also really good information. You can never guess what tree is going to come down, but if you have a large dead tree, that's more likely to than some others. And all the work outlined in the community tree program has been completed. We're waiting for reimbursement. No further work has been done and the 2025 Demonstration City Grant. And we're not planning to finish up that grant until the spring, early summer. Any questions?
Yes, Kate, on those 41 trees, how are they distinguished? Are they marked in any way or tagged in any way?
They are all tagged and they're identified in the computer program that we have. In talking to Beth, we've discussed the idea of, in another grant cycle, to get some sort of designation to say this is a sugar maple and it's a heritage tree. So the community would be more educated about where these trees are and what their value is. I will, by the way, write this up for the Morgan Messenger.
And of those 41 trees, do we know the age of those 41 trees?
We know that they're probably around 100 years old. Trees in cemeteries, the Old English and the Old German, they could be older because people tend not to cut down trees in cemeteries. But Morgan County was pretty much denuded around the time of the Civil War. So a lot of these trees were planted in the mid-teens, the 20s by the Civilian Conservation Corps. So they're 100 or so years old, which in some places, including West Virginia, is not a particularly old tree, but it's the oldest we have.
Very good, good work. It's interesting. Thank you, Kate. Interesting as always. Grants. Awesome.
Chief just approached me about looking for some grants for some new cruisers.
We're talking to Region 9 about that.
Yep.
It's on our list.
Great.
Yep.
And you could fill us in on what's happening with water and.
So I have one application out the door, 2 that are ready to go for the downtown beautification. All told, that would be about 60 grand if we get all of it. But my primary focus right now is on the water money, and we have a great team at Region 9. Jennifer Wishmeyer and our engineering firm, Matt Ritchie from our engineering firm, they are all working really hard to keep this train moving down the track and to meet the deadlines for a February 10th submission, which I believe we'll be able to accomplish. We had a few stumbling blocks at the beginning of the process with things that were not done, and we were able to remediate them quickly and get them done to keep this moving along and to give them everything they needed to process the grant applications. We've got 2 that they are currently working on. One is the money for the phase 1, which we have pegged at about 375 times 2 is 750. And so up to 375,000 will be a straight up grant. And then IJDC 2% loan the town will take to finance the matching portion that we're required to come up with, which we always knew we'd be kicking something in. We're talking about $8 million for all of this by the time we're done. So 375,000 to get this very urgent phase 1 work done, 50-50 split. And then there's another $1 million grant from the Army Corps of Engineers, which we are on track for. So, if it's 8 million, then we were now knocking at 25%, which this was always going to be a brick by brick kind of thing, which is why we're breaking the work into phases. So we're not hamstrung by not having the whole 8 million. We can get the work started and do it incrementally as the funds become available. But the really good news, and I don't want to bury the lead, is every dime that we get in grant money is money that means your water rate didn't go up. It means we went out there and beat the bushes to find these kinds of resources so that we can keep those rates stable. And that is certainly our operative goal. So that again is, and a lot of progress this week, back and forth with the different players working on our applications, 2 concurrent applications. So very excited about that.
Great, thank you very much. And our next meeting is February 9th.
Next Monday.
Very good.
The 9th.
Good work, Mary. That is that's the most critical challenge we have, and we're.
And my only question about that would be, the conditions and stipulations that might be applied to these grants once they're accepted. Just kind of make sure that there's no sneaky stuff going on, because there seems to be that happening all over the world
Oh,
right now.
it's not happening here.
Taking money.
Not here in West
Water
Virginia.
and stuff.
No,
No, not West Virginia?
No.
Okay.
And but I hear you, but honestly, we are dealing with folks with the utmost integrity in this process, and the grantors themselves give me no reason for pause.
And the grantees have some integrity too.
Indeed.
So we'd be the ones getting the money and squandering. We've never been allowed to squander anything,
No.
and I don't know how other people get away with it. It
It's hard for us to
completely-
squander $1 billion.
Hey, I don't understand how these things happen, but I know what you're talking about, but
You know,
Yeah.
they give us that example every year at that budget thing we all go to about how someone brought their living room furniture with their P card. And I'm just like, how did you do that?
No,
How did
that's not
nobody
really what
pick
I
up on
meant,
that at
but-
the end of the month?
I don't know.
In terms of us wondering.
Really?
Just like what the conditions are.
There must be some furniture.
Right,
Oh, yeah,
right.
we've
Right.
been through it.
No, the work,
We've been through it. Yeah.
the work is challenging. The money is difficult to obtain.
Mhm.
And you have to put your needs first in this kind of case, and we have to work everyone that we can. State senators, our delegates,
Everybody.
everyone in the Region 9, they have to understand that. Our county commissioners, because we are not going to put $8 million on the backs of the residents of the town of Bath. It's not going to happen. So we want to be adamantly clear about that. That's not an option.
Put that in the minutes. Yes. And
Write that on
And
my
it's
phone.
not just residents of the town of Bath. Our service area extends beyond these town borders. And that is our vigilant commitment to make sure
That's right.
that our customers are not going to bear the brunt of $8 million worth of work that is urgent and necessary. So we're working it.
We are,
Mhm.
we're up for the challenge.
Yeah.
Chief, public safety.
Well, we got a little bit going on. We got another meter attendant starting here on the 9th. Get him trained up.
Wait a minute. Oh, you have a new
Meter attendant?
Parking
Meter
enforcement
attendant,
officer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So we'll be fully staffed in parking enforcement now.
Yeah. Larry can go back to these Sundays and we'll have the whole week covered with 2 part-time people. Officer Stengel has on the 22nd of last month completed his 90-day probationary period. So he's walking on board with us. We're beating the rock around the bush trying to find grants for cars. It's something new for me, and I've learned a lot about Mary and what she's doing with Region 9, just snooping around, asking people and researching the board members of that group, and talking with Ron Davis over in Paul, trying to pick his brain on how he's getting new cars.
How is he getting new cars?
USDA grant through Region 9.
Loans or grant?
Grants,
Grant, okay.
75% grants.
75%?
Nice.
That's not bad.
We do that all day long.
So I do have a full turnkey quote. I'm getting it through Berkeley County Berkeley County IT department. They just purchased 10 cars. Of course, they pay for them outright, but they're going to give me a quote turnkey furnished car minus the computer. All we got to do is stick our laptop in it and go. So I should have that quote sometime this week to give us something to shoot for what we need for money.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
They're not giving us the car, they're giving us what they pay for.
well, Saturday I did attend
Buy
the
10, get one free.
service for remembrance service for John Burketti died 25 years ago Saturday. I was his training officer at the time when he got killed on car collision, transporting a prisoner. But I got to speak with one of the county commissioners over there. They just give 4 cars away. And I got the town of Bath on that list. So they just got 10 cars, so they should be cycling some out.
Mhm.
So hopefully we can get something that still has a little bit of life into it. But they're going to be used hard driven cars, so they're not a new permanent fix. But we're looking at what we can do. Doors are open. You know, we get nice cars or decent used cars.
Yeah.
For now, we can always, while we're looking for a grant.
A 75-25 with 25% match, you know,
Yeah,
we'll do that immediately.
We could
Yeah.
pay cash.
Yeah. We'll just pay
but
cash.
I
and
just
have the cars.
I just need to. They're going to give me a like I said, they just purchased 10 cars. All the money, the figures are on hand.
Mhm.
So they pretty much asked me how I wanted it equipped, and I told them, and they're going to give me a price. So that way we can come from a point of knowledge,
Yeah.
knowing what we need.
Sure.
I think the Appalachian Regional, that ARC grants also apply for police vehicles too. ARC,
Mhm.
ARC.
DOJ.
We got
I
an Appalachian Forest grant, but it was a different thing.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Not
That's
far,
good
yeah.
intel, and I've made note of it. Thank you.
So we're trying to do our due diligence. And the snow slowed us down a little bit, but we got meter attendants back today, and we got Larry back from
Yay.
Wild Blue Yonder. So
Safe and sound.
he got to see part of the country I never saw. I didn't get to go to Turkey, but I've been to like 13 different countries, and thanks to Uncle Sam, but I didn't get to go to Turkey. So I think we have a letter for
I do.
Officer Stengel, if you want to do that to honor his mayor.
I do have a letter for Officer Sengel. First, let me say, you know, as being part of the mayor and the police commissioner, the job, Josh, that you're doing is first rate. You really exceeded our expectations. You are policing. The town is policing. The town has never felt safer or been safer since I've resided here, and I'm sure my colleagues on council feel the same way. So thank you for your good work. You're very present. I know that you got me doing 27 and a 25, so that was pretty impressive. I'm gonna have to remember to tap the brakes a little bit more to get down to the full 25. So thank you for your diligence, and I know that the chief is working with you, and 17 months goes pretty quick.
16, sir.
Chief has 16 months remaining.
Don't
Nobody's
count
counting.
Those days, I told you about that.
And in that
It's
time,
not public.
we will keep the department staff. We are looking, at another, officer to add, as Josh continues to go through his training. So congratulations to Josh Stengel for completion of his 19-day probationary period. As Chief of Police and Mayor, I'm very thankful to have you here and hope your employment here has and will continue to fill your drive as a professional police officer and patrolman for the Town of Bath Police Department. We look forward to working with you as you gain your experience and knowledge in law enforcement field. Please remember to stay safe. Never mistake kindness for weakness. Congratulations, Police Chief Gardner, Town of Bath Mayor Sheen. But again, you're doing the work, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll have that for you there.
I hope it says 90 days.
Cemetery?
He says he didn't get that.
Brianna approached me about On Track taking responsibility for the Make It Shine program this year, which has normally been done by this Cemetery Corporation. And we're happy to hand the baton on to her.
Sure.
Um,
Absolutely.
I don't know, I'd like to propose that the event take place on Saturday, April 6th, which is the first Saturday, which is when we normally have it. The rain date would be the following Saturday. And if that is acceptable to the council, I'll pass that information on to Brianna and then let her take and run with it.
Motion?
I'll make that.
Motion, just
Yeah.
make that a motion. Just,
Okay,
I'll just say so made.
all
I
right.
got it.
And Rick
So
Rick
moved.
seconded.
Seconded?
Yep,
We're good.
all right.
Have a
Nice
motion.
work, Beth.
And what was the date we're
To
moving?
establish the date for
Yeah,
Make
April
It Shine.
6th.
Have a motion on the floor to move.
April
the-
6th is the first Saturday, and then if not, it'll be the 13th.
Okay, motion on the
If it's a
floor to
rain
move
date.
the on track, Make It Shine date to April
The
6th.
6th
In the
is
event of bad weather, we'll move it to the 13th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Beth.
Isn't it the
I
wrong?
know.
What day is Easter?
It's Holy
Monday.
Saturday,
I
we know.
know.
Easter.
Easter's the next day, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We-
it is.
It's a morning for a couple hours. Everybody will want to do, thank you, dear.
Really do it on
Thank you.
Friday.
I know, right?
For the first lady for
Especially-
pointing that out, but everyone will want to do good work prior to Easter.
It's a
Yes.
DEP
It's very
thing,
good,
and they
yes.
can-
And it's very, very helpful to the,
I'll be out
the
there.
crew that will be starting, they generally start the Tuesday after Make It Shine.
Mhm.
And the kids do a great job of picking up sticks that are all over the graves and make it possible for them to get their mowing done. So I appreciate the fact that On Track wants to work with this
No, that's great.
project.
Makes sense.
The next thing I have is our next meeting for the cemetery committee should be on the 17th. I am going to have to cancel that meeting and reschedule it at a later date. I'm actually having knee replacement
Oh, no.
surgery on the 16th. So I will not be available that week. And I will make sure Dustin knows because we talked about having him come back to our next meeting and he's going to provide information to us about developing an audio, I should say, online tour through their website, Travel Berkeley Springs website, in conjunction with the cemetery committee and the cemetery corporation. So we'll keep working on that and,
Was having a disconnect there for a minute. They were talking about Dustin the mower. I'm
Dusty,
thinking,
not-
oh, no, yeah.
no, I got you,
It's
I
more
got
than
you,
one
I got you.
Dustin around here, yeah.
Dusty TPS, no, good, good
The
work.
third thing is that the Cemetery Corporation has been meeting with several different organizations, but the most important organization that we're focused on right now is the West Virginia Alliance. I'm never gonna remember the name.
Preservation Alliance.
Preservation Alliance, yes, I always get it mixed up. This is an organization that is housed in, I believe, Berkeley County and Jefferson County. They have taken on a project of headstone restoration, and they have become experts on it. And we have met with them in Greenway and in meetings, primarily through Dave O'Connell, and they want to work with us to help make Greenway Cemetery the model for headstone restoration with volunteers for the rest of the state. And the reason why we're so excited about this is there's grant money available through the Alliance for the minimal equipment that we will need. And the West Virginia SHPO, West Virginia
State Historic Preservation.
Historic Preservation Office is also interested in moving into historic preservations. And the West Virginia Alliance is working with many historic landmark commissions to try to coax those organizations away from buildings and into historic cemeteries. And they would like us to meet with the Historic Landmark Commission. We just found out about this yesterday, so I haven't talked to Priscilla yet or anybody else. They would like those organizations to work together to focus more on cemeteries than on buildings, because many of the municipalities in West Virginia don't really have much to do related to the historic buildings. So we are going to investigate that process as well. And all of this will provide grant money. But the thing that we are focusing on at the moment is we are going to put an ad in the Morgan Messenger February 18th and the 25th to begin a campaign to recruit volunteers. We need volunteers for the headstone restoration project. We need volunteers for record keeping and other areas. And so we have asked the Ice House if we could use their facility for a meeting, for a public meeting on March 5th at 2:00, and they have graciously allowed us to do that. And so we are placing this ad in the Morgan Messenger and other places, including Friends of Greenway Cemetery. And I haven't talked to Sandy yet about the town's website as well, but we believe that through the Barstow, we have awakened an interest in Greenway again, and we have organizations now that want to work with Greenway and it's one of the largest cemeteries in the state of West Virginia, and they believe it can be used as a model for other places. And the focus all the way along the line is going to be through volunteerism. So we're pretty excited about
Important.
how
Hey,
things
that's
are
great.
starting to fall
Yeah,
into
good.
place. So
It's been a haul. It's been a
yeah,
long
it has
bit.
been. So I had a flyer to give you, but unfortunately, right before I left the meeting, I found another typo. So I'll send it to you tomorrow.
You send me your
And-
report, because there was a lot there.
All right, I will.
Yeah.
Larry, you have something to add?
Hey, Beth, on that, I'd recommend perhaps sending a copy of the flyer and maybe a note to each of the churches within Morgan County as well. I think that's where you have a lot of potential available manpower and a desire
Yes.
to keep the memory alive of our ancestors. So I would target that specifically. I know at our church, anytime we come up with cemetery, we have no problem getting volunteers for our little Catholic.
All right,
place.
wonderful. Thank
So
you. That's
just,
a great
You know,
idea.
and
We
a
will
lot of times
absolutely-
there's some available hours in the folks that are there. So.
Great.
Could we add to it about the high school students? Because they were really coming out. It's a great opportunity to get the honor students and
Absolutely.
those
That was-
kids to really understand how important this is to carry it forward.
And we hope to bring in our genealogical work into the high school community through their Civic Honor Society and some other groups that in Morgan County Historic and Genealogical Society. So there are a lot of moving parts right now, but we're pretty excited about the interest on the state level that they have approached us about. So,
Well, and support begets other support.
It
The
does.
American Legion may be more interested now.
yes,
The
yes.
VFW may be more interested, but sometimes these groups think we're doing it all by ourselves. This is too much for.
Right. The
But
Rotary.
if you build a collaboration, yeah.
Yes, and that's true because they can share their mission related to the veterans, and we've done a lot. Terry Golden has he has a list of all the veterans buried in Greenway from every war. So we got a lot of work that we're doing, a lot of projects that we've got moving towards. So we're pretty excited. We think it can really be a benefit to the town in developing a piece of property that has been difficult to deal with over the years, but now we're hoping we can turn it into something that's going to be really
Turn page.
beneficial.
Turn page.
all
for
around.
cemeteries.
So
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Very good. Nothing. We're all responsible for the upkeep of those cemeteries, both at the town level and the county level. And just think we have 18,000 people in this county. If each one gave $5, that's $100,000. So
Yeah.
then we one-time $5 contribution.
Yeah.
Yes, the math is easy. It's just getting the message out there. But thank you, Beth. Those are all really good points, and that's great work there. Rick, Public Works, bring us up.
First, just kudos again to the whole Public Works crew for what they did with this ridiculous snowstorm that we've had a couple weekends ago. I mentioned the last time about the Citizen Service Awards. When are we gonna do those certificates for
When
those?
the weather gets
Yeah,
easier.
okay, so we'll just hold off on that. I heard from Tim Boyer from Potomac Edison. He's working on the agreement and design, and the info will be coming to us. He's still hopeful to have it first 54 lights replaced and done by April 15th. So we'll wait and see if the timeline actually comes
Weather
through.
permitting.
Obviously, we're not doing anything with the one block at a time and cleaning. So obviously, the weather prevents us from doing that. We're starting to look at paving for next year. One question I have, and I don't know the answer about this one, Warren Street, we did by Roy's a couple of years ago out of the schedule. Did we do Warren Street all the way up past Lot 12, or did it just go up to Roy's?
Just went up to.
So we're still gonna have,
Went up
because
commercial.
part of the things we had was to do the Mercer to Green and then do the whole way up to the hill
Mhm.
and around Lee Circle.
Yep.
That was on the thing for next year, so I'll put those in there. And just Sam's starting to get this together. He's gonna meet with P&W and we'll include you,
Yes.
because we also want to look at Independence Street.
Mhm.
So we have a good thing when we go to budget. We know exactly what we're gonna need as far as paving the roads, the next 4 or 5 in our thing. And that's it.
That's a lot.
That's enough.
Good job.
Again, I mean, if we have good news on the school building, there's been multiple contract offers put in. I know one that was a full cash offer. And they're just waiting to get back, get more information from the seller, who seems to be slow in reacting to that, but there are very good contracts in, and these are good buyers that have the long-term interest of the town and community.
What are they
in
looking
mind.
to put there?
Well, they're,
Depending on who the buyer
with the folks that I met with, it was a combination of some residential properties in the back of the building. They were willing to deed over a part of the back property for a town park as well of some kind. And then in the building itself, they were looking at turning it into commercial space, potentially office space on the second floor. And then on the first floor, they were looking to do a series of shops of some kind in the building itself. So they've got some ambitious plans to make significant investment into that and that, again, that changing that whole location, that corner, having lot 12 there, Ravenwood is there, getting paved around the cemetery, so you have additional parking for the restaurant and shops there right across the street if you pave around the cemetery. So the timing of all that stuff is just is right on. So
We did all that lighting in front and the new wall and the new sidewalk. That was maybe
right.
10, 15 years ago.
Yep.
And got a grant for that and all that beautiful lighting, and there's that building looking like that, you know.
It's just waiting
But-
for us. I think this
I know.
is the moment.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly that this is the moment. This is the right group of folks to get this thing done where it's beneficial to everybody.
When it was first bought, was anything done on the inside of that building? Nothing?
With
any of that?
I think they.
Because I mean,
started
it
to
needs, I
tear
mean,
up
from the
some-
top to the bottom,
They-
everything's gonna have
They
to be
spent their
redone.
money on getting their certificate of necessity and maybe doing some tearing out. They
Yeah.
didn't do anything back. They didn't put anything back.
Okay, remember they boarded up everything and
Yes.
started to do something, and it
Yeah.
all just went
Right.
somewhere.
I'm really keeping a good thought that the sellers will say yes to somebody, because this is an
Why you would not.
embarrassment of riches to have 3 solid offers on the table. And I hope that they will be saying yes to somebody so that building can get back up and running and producing tax revenue and just really adding to the footprint of this community.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be an amazing contribution to the 1% municipal sales tax as well, that and it would be great. So that's all good news. So
Okay.
ordinance, Ryan?
Well, after a few meetings, where we discussed and implement or pass the vacant structure registry ordinance, this time I don't have anything further to report from ordinance. And, next meeting, February 19th, 3:30.
Yep, we'll have some stuff by then. A couple
You
things
know,
that are popping up here.
Be thinking about that election law.
Yeah.
Because
we're
that's gonna,
talking-
that clock's gonna tick until, you know, we have to.
Yeah, that's.
Right,
That's
but we've
on my
got a year and
list.
a half left on this term. And then if we run the next term for 1 year,
Mhm.
it will be fully synced up. But
Right.
obviously that needs to be
Right.
wrapped up with an ordinance.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Good
wait,
work, Brenda.
rush to do it.
Right.
Because what it is, the next term, when the people apply to run for the next term, when it comes about, this law has to be in effect.
Yes.
So that, because their next term will be shortened in length.
Yes.
And everybody's gotta know, this is what you're signing up for.
Right.
And so that's what, you know.
Very good.
That's Susan's way of telling you to put that next on your list.
Get on it.
Yeah.
All right. Susan has spoken on that.
Yeah.
Order works, Mary, what do you have for us?
Okay, well, I already discussed the financing during grants. For this portion of it, I just want to generally report out that we're working very close with Region 9. We're counting our blessings every day that we don't have an incident, and particularly through that utterly cold passage of weather, you know, not more bursted pipes and things like that. So that has come. We're also over in the water department paying very close attention to new development and how that is going to impact. We're sort of keeping a running total. We know what we consume every day, how many gallons. We know about newer development that's coming online. And that development now includes approximately 200 homes. Gosh, Kate, you're gonna have some neighbors.
Oh,
It's-
where?
right after you go through the underpass, or go through that, if you're at Sheets and you go under that bridge for the over, one of those lots, I don't know which side it is, 200 homes. So there's that, and then you.
On Winchester Grade or 520?
Yes, on Winchester Grade. They'll build it all in there. There's like a 40-acre plot that they've purchased, the home builder, that's 200 homes. So for us, as we're keeping, because our goal is really, we weren't meant to be like a mega water utility. We have a fairly naturally defined service area. And we recognize that our growth goals are centered on being sustainable and stable in the water service we provide, but not in providing for the whole county. That was never, we don't have the capacity to do that. So,
Or the desire.
right. So, but we are, again, being very much 200 homes. I mean, by the time they're all filled with people, we'll have as much population as the town of Bath. So there's that. And then right across the street next to Josephine's, there's another 2, 3, and 4 bedroom apartment community. The sign's up saying it's going to be built. So these things are happening. And as Greg has pointed out several times, Morgan County is already pegged as one of the top 5 growth counties in West Virginia. We're seeing it all around us and just trying to manage, certainly with what we now know is a rather finite resource, not in the water, but in the pumping capacity. So 500,000 gallons is about what we could do now, and even on the other side of shoring up the utility to be operating at optimum efficiency. So.
Okay.
So these things are happening, folks.
Yep.
You know, again, and there's a certain level of certainty to it. And we don't know everything that's coming in the direction, but we do know what our water capacity is, and we'll be acting accordingly and in the best interest of the residents of the town and the customers, the waterworks,
You bet.
and to future generations of folks that live here. So this is a serious inflection point, and we will keep everyone posted as these things move forward.
Water Committee's next meeting is on February 11th.
Perfect. Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to wish the First Lady of Bath, my lovely wife Claire, a birthday, along with Councilwoman Mary Hickey. They're both born on the same day, February 2nd.
Really?
So
Happy birthday.
they both get to yell at me accordingly.
birthday.
Well, then the mayor's is on Thursday.
Theirs is on Thursday, so we're all bunched together. So
Bunch of Aquarians walked into a bar.
I know, right?
Water meeting.
That's how we shake up this place.
This time of the meeting, if anyone would like to share any thoughts or have any questions, this is your opportunity to do so.
They better be pertinent.
Teresa, you're the only person that hasn't talked yet.
Yes. Madam in the hat.
I will say the sidewalks are incredible. Barbara and I walked around town quite a bit this afternoon. There's one spot that we could make record if the guys could come down, because
What's
it's
the
right
spot?
where across right down here at the bottom on the right hand side. We couldn't walk onto the curb across the crosswalk from 7-Eleven onto the sidewalk on
In front
the
of Jim
south
Lawyer.
side of the town there. So it was
Yeah.
like still full of snow. It was really kind of challenging for Momo.
Yeah, there's some the corner that actually in front of Truist Bank, in front of the park, and directly across, that's also blocked. So
Right.
Just a couple little
Rick, if we
spots,
could
but now
get
that it's
Sam-
softened up out there, it'd be
This is-
really easy to go clean that.
You're gonna see them first in the morning.
Yeah, I got one.
Get them out, okay.
Thank you.
The
Just
corner of
it's
the park,
flashing out.
Oh,
in
it's
front
a
of
new
Truist
day.
Bank, you've actually got to
Right
write
down.
Yeah.
Whatever it was otherwise wonderful. Thanks,
I'm
guys.
over at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's across from 7-Eleven to come out on the south side there.
That could be cool to talk about.
Thank you, Susan. Very personal. I'd like to
Adjourn this meeting already.
Adjourn.
You need to go to bed.
I know.